right, everyone, this is Tim. This is New York Giants Straight Talk coming to you back again. Like, guess who's back? Back again. Tim is back. That's right, everyone. I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. People are wondering, and they're saying Tim, because that's what people say to me when they talk to me. What's going to be the difference between online Big Blue and NFL Straight Talk? Well, first of all, NFL Straight Talk, or I should say New York Giants Straight Talk, because there might be another show in the future. Don't know yet. But New York Giants Straight Talk is basically going to be a little bit more polished, a little bit more professional, a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting in regards to the fact that we're going to give you more of the Straight Talk that you got from OBB, but we may just bring it to you in a different format and maybe in a larger quantity. So, it's going to be fun. The podcast has been around for a while. If you don't know, go any place that you can find podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music Store, any place that you can get a podcast, you can find the podcast, but you'll also be able to find it right here on the formerly OBB channel. The other difference is it's going to be maybe a show once or twice a week. We're also only going to be, and we're not going to do any live streams, but we may do a draft live stream because it has been asked for. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I hope you stay tuned. I hope you have a good time with it because I always have a good time doing these shows. I'm going to continue to do these. And like I said, it's exciting to be back. It's exciting to do a show that, may only be once a week, but it's going to be bigger, badder, bolder, or whatever the key phrase was they put in the video in the beginning. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. But you know what? Let's talk about this weekend's games really quick because I find it interesting because if you look at the dichotomy of the games, of the quarterbacks, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks were on rookie deals. And one of them, of course, is all-world and Patrick Mahomes. And you looked at the way the games played out. Philadelphia crushed the 49ers. I couldn't think of the name of the team. They crushed the 49ers, 100%. And people will say, well, you know what, Brock Purdy going down, and you have, Josh come in, and, then at one point Josh goes down, and then you have McCaffrey trying to, run the Wildcat at some point, with the nerve damage for Purdy. Okay. The defense, to me, for the 49ers is stellar. Best defense, one of the best defenses I've seen in 20 years. But it wouldn't have mattered if Brock Purdy was there, if Joe Montana was there, if Steve Young was there. The way the Philadelphia was playing and the way they came on in the second half like they always do showed you something special. Jalen Hurts on the third year of a 4-year rookie deal as a second-round pick is what the Eagles needed because it allowed them to make all the other moves during the offseason, bring in the James Bradbury, to bring in Dominican Sue, to bring in the guys that they needed to build that championship defense and build a championship team. And it's the same thing you would say with Joe Burrows, even though Burrows was a number 1 overall pick, so his contract was a little higher. And it's the same thing you could say with Purdy as well. But Purdy was more out of necessity and injury. But you still had Trey Lance on a rookie deal. You had Jimmy Garoppolo on a more palatable deal. So you take a look at that and you see that is the way at times. Now, Mahomes, of course, is on the $500 million contract. Well, I think it's $400 million. I don't think it's $500 million. But he's on another world. He's on another planet. Now, the thing is, this always equates back to the Giants. This always equates, will the Giants re-sign Daniel Jones? Will they bring back Daniel Jones? Should they bring back Daniel Jones? Should they bring back Daniel Jones at $30 million? I'm telling you this. The kid from Duke, in my mind, should have gone to Notre Dame because he got the freaking luck of the Irish. Because of the fact that you have a season where you barely throw for 3,000 yards, you barely throw for 15 touchdowns. Yeah, you rush for 700, but you are, if you were to sit there and say, was Jones a deciding factor in all these games? No. Was Jones the factor that we won certain games, 1 or 2 games? Yes. But for him to have this type of year, and for people to say it's a contract year, it's a year that is putting him in the stratosphere, is fucking real. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. It truly is. Now, Mike Too Nice sent me something. I'm always wondering, is Mike really too nice? We're going to find that out because I think we're going to be doing a podcast with him coming up soon. But he sent me something comparable. He sent me the statistics from the 2017 Tyrod Taylor Buffalo Bills playoff run and Daniel Jones' stats. Tyrod was 8-6, Daniel Jones 8-6-1. Jones was a 67% completion percentage. Tyrod Taylor 62. You can see this all on the screen because we're visual now. Jones threw for 3,205 yards. Passing yards for Tyrod 227. Can't even talk today. 2,799. We had 120 rushing attempts for Jones And let's see, the yards where I can't. He doesn't have the yards listed. Oh, he does. He does have the yards. We have 84 rushing attempts for Tyrod Taylor. The rushing yards is 427 for Tyrod, 708 for Jones. And people will sit there and say his top receivers for Jones were Barkley and Richie James. And the top receivers for Tyrod Taylor were LaShawn McCoy and Charles Clay. Charles Clay. What is wrong there? There's something very wrong here. It's the same. It's not the same, but it's very similar statistics with the same type of offense, with the same type of weapons. The big difference is the yards per attempt is 5.9 for our wonderful Daniel Jones and 6.7 for Tyrod Taylor. Now, they'll say that he has 5 game-winning drives, Daniel Jones. 2 of those game-winning drives he did not throw. He threw 1 pass in the fourth quarter. 1 pass in 2 of those games. And one game he didn't throw any passes. And Tyrod Taylor had 2 game-winning drives. So what is the difference between mediocrity and Tyrod Taylor in 2007 and Daniel Jones's spectacular $30 million season? There is no difference. It's mediocre in 2007. It's mediocre play now. Now, I see stupid things on Twitter. I always love Twitter. I see stupid shit on Twitter. And the Twitter is, well, what else are we going to do? What do you mean, what else are we going to do? Well, what other options do we have? You have the draft. You have free agency. You have the trade market. People are like, well, we're picking 25th. We can't get a quarterback that low. Really? Russell Wilson? I don't remember where he was taken. Where did Purdy go? I don't remember where he was taken. Where did Mahomes go? The Bills traded up in 18 to get the venerable Josh Allen. They traded up. Giants traded up to number 1 overall, technically, to get Eli Manning. But that's okay, because you can't do anything like that. Because if you question this and you say anything to certain Giant fans, they get so upset. No, you can't do that. You're mortgaging the future. When the Giants mortgaged the future to get Eli Manning. Sean Merriman, of course, went to San Diego. Mr. Lights Out played Lights Out for a couple of years before drugs and other things kind of derailed his career. But when you did all that, you got your championship quarterback. You got the guy that was going to bring you into the next level. You got him. And I think that Shane is smart enough to understand that if you don't do this, if you don't make a move, if you commit this much money to one guy who had an average season at best, and if you cannot look at yourself in the mirror to say this is average, you don't know what you don't know what you're talking about in reference to ranking quarterbacks. And the option of, well, there's nothing else out there and there's nothing else we can do, so what else can we do, is one of the stupidest arguments I have ever heard. There is multitudes of things to do. The 49ers went from Trey Lance to Jimmy the Garoppolo to then Purdy. They found something to do. They found something to make it work. Just because you think there are not options available does not mean there's not something out there. And Shane probably knows this. And Shane is probably going to look at it. Now, I've said this before, and we'll put the numbers up. Let's just say, for argument's sake, and it's going to probably be a little bit more. Let's say the Giants have $60 million in cap space. I've seen the things where people are like, well, we're going to give Daniel Jones 14, and then we're going to extend it out over 3 years, and we're only going to make... No. You're going to have to give him bonus money. Most players want their bonus monies up front. But let's just say, for argument's sake, with the bonus money, with the salary, the contract hit is $25 million. So that's automatically, so let's say it's $65 million, so we can do easier math. So it's $25 million off of $65 million, gives you $40 million. Are you letting Saquon Barkley walk? Saquon said at one point, I don't want $16 million. I want $16 million. You can franchise tag him for 10.1. Now, you can't franchise tag Daniel Jones because that's $32 million. That's a $32 million cap hold. But let's say you franchise Saquon Barkley out of your $40 million, you're down to 30. Are you letting Julian Love walk? Are you letting Darius Slayton walk? And then people will be like, well, we're going to, and then you have like 38 players on the contract. People are like, well, you know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. I got an itch. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be perfect. Every guy that we draft, those 11 guys, are all going to make the squad. That still leaves you at 49 players. And of course, no one's going to get injured. You don't need any operational cap space. You don't need to go out and find 2 guards maybe 2 wide receivers, a pass catching tight end, a linebacker, an outside linebacker with coverage skills and some speed, a true defensive end that can hold the edge and maintain his containment against the run. You're not going to have to replace Leonard Williams after next season. You're not going to need a CB2. And if you let Love walk, you're not going to need a strong safety. No. We're fine. Everything's okay. Don't look over there because everything's okay. But if you look at these numbers, they don't make sense for Daniel Jones. They don't make sense for the Giants. That's why everyone says you need to win within the first 4 years of that rookie deal if you take a quarterback in the first round. And that's more so the case if you take him within the top 10. Because he is going to destroy and disrupt your cap exponentially. Believe it or not, kiddies, like I said it before, I didn't invent math. I didn't. I know that sounds shocking, but I didn't invent math. And people were like, well, Tim, what are we going to do? We're going to draft a quarterback and set ourselves back? The Giants more than likely are going to take a step back next year. If you look at it from the statistical averages, teams that have won by the same amount of points in the same ways that the Giants have won usually do not make the playoffs next year. Again, I didn't invent math. I wish I did because I'd probably like to get some royalties from math. I did not invent this math. The schedule's going to be harder. The schedule's going to be more difficult. If you keep Tyrod Taylor, you hold on to, you go out and draft a quarterback. And we're going to talk about quarterbacks next episode. And we're going to have a ticker on the bottom soon and all that fun stuff. And we're going to do the ranking of the quarterbacks, who the Giants should and shouldn't get. But if you do this, if you go out and get the quarterback, you keep Tyrod Taylor. You let him play 7-8 games. You let the rookie get some experience under their belt, and then you bring them in. Because a rookie quarterback with some skills who can run can still get you 600-700 yards. He may not give you as many passing yards, and the 67% completion percentage is an aberration. One point, he completed 14 passes behind the line of scrimmage? I think I could complete it at least 9 out of 14 from behind the line of scrimmage. I think I could have done that. There is a word in the NFL playbook that the Giants have missed. It's called vertical. You throw the bomb, you throw it that way. You don't throw it 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You throw it 10 to 15 yards in front of you. I know it's a concept that some don't grasp. I know, I get it. I truly understand it. And those that compare Daniel Jones' stats to other quarterbacks, you can't compare. Like, I love when they compare to Eli Manning. Eli Manning played in a different era. You can't compare him to Phil Simms. I'm wearing the Phil Simms jersey. Now, I love the people that say, well, Phil Simms was a terrible quarterback, blah, blah, blah. No. 79, he was one of the offensive rookies of the year. He had his team going to the playoffs in 81 before he got hurt. 82 and 83, he was hurt again. It was injuries that derailed Phil Simms' career, not lack of quality play. We had to put up with Daniel Jones' non-quality play for 2 seasons, and then we get an average quality pay, and you think he's worth $30 million. $30 million. This team has so many holes that need to be addressed. And one of the biggest holes they may have to deal with is going to be the defensive coordinator. Because I believe Wink got his second interview with the Colts. I don't think Kafka's going anywhere, but I think Wink is going to go somewhere. The Eagles are going to be good for the next 3 years. The Cowboys, I think, are going to drop off a little bit, but we need to get up to the level of the Cowboys. Howie Roseman knows how to work the cap, and he understands that I might have 2 down years. I might fire my head coach, but I'm going to retool and come back once I fix my salary cap. And that's what Shane's is doing. He is fixing the salary cap. And all those that are saying, we're going to get more money because you know what we're going to do? We're going to take Leonard Williams' contract and we're going to push more dead money into 2024 because we already have that voidable cap year or that dead cap year in 2024 that we needed to get operational cap space in 2022 so we could field 53 men. No, you cannot keep pushing your money away. We've talked about this, guys. We've talked about this. Have we not talked about this? Have we not? Have we not? Can someone tell me? Yes, we've talked about this. See, now you can see me doing my dramatic pause when I say sore. Now you can see it live and in person. We have a lot of stuff to cover The dogs are barking. I got to run back upstairs again. But we got a lot of stuff to cover. NFL Straight Talk, New York Giants Straight Talk is going to be the best, the biggest, the loudest show on YouTube, on the internet. Make sure you be there. Make sure you have fun because you know what? It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great time. And I can't wait to get to the next episode next week. And I'm out of here.